Today, I want to introduce the Wandering Collective. It's a fashion brand created by David Wyatt, Gianluca Soldi, and Valentina Brugnatelli. I visit David and Gianluca in their studio, and I could know more about this fascinating brand. Discover the essence of a brand that makes shoes, costume jewelry, and clothes ready to wear. How did you start it, and why did you decide to start to show, to mix three designers in one brand?
Sure. It was at the end of the summer of 2011, and the idea just came having a coffee in Barceloneta. We were chatting, me and David, and I don't know how the idea came up, but the point is that David wanted to do his clothing line again, because he had his line years ago, and he was showing in London and Milan, I think.
No, London.
Just London. And he wanted to do his clothing line again. So there was this project in the air since, you know,
in a different project, no?
Yeah. And he was showing before with his own name in London, and then he had he took a break and he wanted to do it again. And then I thought, if he wants to do his own clothing line, I could add my shoes, and then we can show together. And that time we were working at Kenzo, and we met Valentina Brugnatelli, who's the jewelry designer.
Yes.
And we fell in love with her and with her designs, and so we thought, okay, we can add another element to the collection. We can add, this jewelry collection, yes. And then we can, we came up with the idea of a collective of designers, and then we found.
Valentina will always tell you that if it hadn't been for Gianluca inviting her to do the Wandering Collective with us, she always had this dream of doing her own collection, but it was never the right moment. She never had the courage to do it, and then she got this invitation. She was like, okay, finally now is the moment to do it. But also because, like the way we worked at Kenzo, we're very used to working. We were working for Antonio Maras, and he was our creative director, and he'd give us an input, like a very clear vision of this sort of woman that he was thinking of the season, with the influences maybe Chopin, maybe historical, maybe something to do, with the fabrics. And then each department, the shoe department, the knitwear department, the jewellery department, all of us friends, all of us designers with lots of experience, would go away and would come up with something on their own, but with that theme. And then Antonio would review it, add to it, change it. And this is the way we like to work, so that you have a very rich collection with every detail has been thought about by an expert. It's not just one person kind of doing the whole thing, and that's how the big design houses work. So for us, we're doing this little design project. It's only small, the Wandering Collective, it's just us. Yeah. But it has this kind of wealth of ideas and richness because it's got three very experienced designers working on every detail.
I think that's the best part, interesting, that you are three designers, three owner designers who have their brands, and you mix in one, yes, in the Wandering Collective.
Exactly.
Yes, I think it's a new element, because you can be independent, keeping your own personality, but at the same time you are part of a bigger project, and you're working on the same look, because at the end of the day our goal is to propose an entire look.
Who of three of you decide to the line of the collection, the colors? Where do you have to go?
Well, it's very democratic because for a start, all three of us have an affinity. We all get attracted to the same sorts of things. Like, there's definitely something about decorative, architectural details, historical details that all three of us naturally are drawn to, which is why we like to work together. But we also have invented, between the three of us, a kind of a rolling creative direction, as in last summer, the collection that you're wearing, last winter, the collection you're wearing now, Valentina was the creative director. So she came up with the original ideas. She came in with, we sat in a lovely cafe in Milan, and she pulls out drawings and she pulls out pictures of like abstract art and Russian constructivist pictures, and then some pictures of some 80s CD covers with this kind of day glow and strong graphic images. And it was her turn, and it was so much fun because we're working to a brief. Obviously, we're allowed to interpret it the way we like.
Yeah. And when you walk, when you're traveling, or when you stay here in Barcelona or other cities, are you watching the people and all the time?
All the time, yes,
I think all the designers
people spotting. I mean, even just the fact that we've just come back from Zagreb, it's just so interesting to see what the differences are and what the similarities are, like what's current. You know, in Zagreb, no one could believe our beards. Like, literally, people stopping us and girls reaching out to touch the beard. Whereas in Barcelona, everyone's got a beard. Everyone's got beards. So just things like that, little detail that you think is so commonplace, in another city it's a totally different thing, and that is fascinating.
Yeah, you can also analyze taste in different countries. You know, I think every country has its particular point of view of fashion.
Yes.
I think, you know, if you go to Paris, you will see women dressed in a certain way. If you go to London, you will see women dressed in another way. And I think you know, Madrid or Barcelona is just the same. You know, every area has its own speciality.
Independence, personality, and also be part of a great project. The creativity and the design of each of them. Join every look in the Wandering Collective.